Panula, which is ImpressArt's design director. And today we're going to go over intro to hand stamping or metal stamping. And for those of you who don't know who ImpressArt is, we are a Long Island, New York-based company, and we make all the tools and supplies for you, your Michael makers or artisans or crafters, to make your own personalized jewelry out of metal, or even keepsakes, so wine charms, bottle openers, ornaments, and garter markers. And what's great about hand stamping is that you can all personalize it with dates, messages, or names. And you can also, I like to wear my own jewelry, but I also gift it to my friends and families for birthdays or holidays. And sometimes I even sell them to my friends for a little extra income, which is great for the holiday season, so I can actually buy additional gifts for my family members. And I'm just gonna throw it over to Stacy, who's actually going to let you know what your participation in this Zoom event is going to do.
Hi, this is Stacy from Michaels. Thank you everyone so much for joining. I just wanted to let you know that today is National Creativity Day, and just by participating in this class, $1 for every participant is going to be donated to the Boys and Girls Club COVID Relief Fund. So thank you so much everyone for joining. And I'll turn it over to Rita to get us all started.
All right, hi guys. I hope everyone's doing fantastic and you enjoyed your Saturday. So this class is beginner hand stamping. My name is Rita Panula, like Jen so graciously introduced me before. I am the design director for ImpressArt. I started metal stamping back, I want to say in '99. I was one of the first women on Etsy to sell hand stamped items. I was actually a customer of ImpressArt before being asked to join the team, and I was very lucky to live on Long Island, so I used to get to go to ImpressArt and pick up my product. And now I travel for them and I teach their classes, and I'm involved in product development, and I do these amazing Facebook Lives 3 days a week. So right now for our summer schedule, they'll be available to view at 1 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So I see some of our friends popping on. So hi, Noelle. Hi, Caleb. We have Rosa, Sandra, Alyssa. Well, welcome. So today what we're going to be doing is a simple hand stamped necklace, okay? We're going to use the uppercase Austin set. We're going to use the lowercase Austin set and the numbers. We're going to use our alchemy tags that already have the holes in them. We're going to use our sticker guidebook. We're going to use both our buffing block and our polishing block, and I'll go through the blocks and tell you, explain to you the difference between both. If you'd like a matte finish, we'll use that matte block. If we want more of a shiny finish, we'll use that polishing block. Well, hello, Gina and Jen. Oh, Gina Green from Bayshore. Welcome, Gina. And then we'll jump to lining our letters up, having this adequate spacing for it, making sure that we're stamping in the straight line. We'll do jump rings, and then we'll attach them to our necklace. So I am going to bring you over to my block so we could switch the screens, and I will walk you through that. Okay. Get set up here. All right. So this is one of the finished pieces that I created using that Austin font. So that Austin font is a 3mm font. And if you have any other ImpressArt font that's 3mm, please feel free to use that as well. Okay. So what we did was a date, initials, and a name. And then they have jump rings and chain. And all of these pieces are available at Michaels, michaels.com, or if your stores are currently open, you can go into your stores and purchase them. Okay, so I'm going to push that aside, and we're going to get ready. So what you're going to do first is you are going to make sure that you have a household paper towel handy. Okay. Here are our buffing blocks. This is the one that you would use to polish. So you have a super fine side and a fine side. If you want more of a matte finish, we're going to use the medium side. These are the numbers, the Austin numbers. Your alchemy discs. Now your alchemy is very similar to pewter. It's a tin-based alloy. Okay, so it is hypoallergenic and it doesn't tarnish or corrode. So what you're going to do is you're going to place your blank right on your block. Then we're going to use sticker guides, right from your sticker guide book. I want you to pull one out. And what you're going to do is you're going to follow that orange line right where your hole is and bring that down. You're going to use that center hole as your guide so you could find your center. Then you always want to have a pen handy. Okay, and I am going to start with my initials. Okay, so I'm going to utilize my orange hash lines. Okay, and I'm going to use my uppercase. So I'm going to pull my uppercase out. Now, what's great about these uppercase fonts from ImpressArt, pull this back a little bit so you can see. So the uppercase come with 6 different design stamps. This happens to be one of my very favorite fonts that we have, and this is exclusively sold at Michael's. So I'm going to open up my case. And now that I've prepped my blank, I just want to go over how you're going to hold your stamp. So guys, when you are a righty, your hammer, you always want to make sure that your hammer is on your right side, okay? When you get your first stamp, you want to make sure that your stamp is in your non-dominant hand. You never want to use your dominant hand for your stamp and then switch hands. That's how we're either crooked, we're have half impression. So always remember, non-dominant hand is where your stamp goes. Dominant hand is where your hammer goes, okay? So when you're stamping with this font, and this is Austin, it's a 3mm font, you always want to make sure that the ImpressArt is facing you. You're going to place that down and lightly drag it. You want to make sure that the center of your stamp, right here, is lined up to that hash mark on your tape. So then I'm going to pick up, now that I feel that restriction, and that sticker creates a ledge. If you run your finger down, it creates a ledge. So you feel when you're running lightly, when you run your stamp down to that tape, okay, you feel that restriction. Once you feel that restriction, you're going to really put some pressure on your stamp and give it a nice hit. And that's going to be your first letter. Okay, so this is a soft metal. You don't have to hit it so aggressively. You want to give it a nice moderate to medium hit. So now I'm going to take my ampersand, same thing. I'm going to line it up in my using my non-dominant hands, lightly drag that down to that sticker guide. And when you feel that sticker guide, that you feel it hit the stamp, hit the ledge of that, you're going to press down, take your hammer, give it a nice hit. Now guys, the reason why, two things. One, you should always be using a steel block, okay? Don't use marble or anything else. Steel is what you need to be, to metal stamp properly, okay? You also need the Ergo-Angle hammer, which is a brass head. And the reason why we use brass is because it absorbs the shock. Sometimes when we use a regular household hammer that's steel, and you hit a steel stamp, it bounces, leaving half of an impression and then a gross impression up top. Because the brass is soft, it absorbs the hit and leaves a really nice impression in your metal. So again, I'm going to take my stamp, make sure that the ImpressArt is facing me. Flat, lightly drag it to line it up with what's on my sticker guide. Press down on my stamp when I'm ready. One nice tap. So there we have it. This is our first disc. So then you're going to pull your sticker guide up, and you're going to notice that your spacing and your spacing is perfect, and you're right and you're aligned. So I'm going to push that to the side. I'm going to pull out my second disc. Take another sticker guide. I'm going to look for my hole that's on the top. I am going to drag it down lightly. Secure it to my block. Now guys, if you're having a problem and your sticker isn't sticking to your block to hold it in there, please feel free to use another piece of tape. And you could do that right on top. Okay, so I am now going to do, let's see, I'm going to do the name, the full name. So I am going to go S-A-M-I. Now, when you're utilizing uppercase and lowercase, you always want to use the space in between these hash lines. Okay, so I'm going right between the orange and black because I want my name closer together. I used the orange lines on my R and my S because I wanted them a little bit more spaced out. So with my name, I want to bring it closer together. So when I bring it closer together, I'm going to use a space in between each hash mark. So I'm going to start with my uppercase S. Again, I'm going to place that down. I'm going to lightly drag it. I'm going to make sure, tilt this up, that my stamp is right in the middle of both my orange and my black hash mark. Press down, take my hammer, give it a nice moderate hit. And there is my S. Now, if you're having a problem getting an impression, this is a really, it's a handwritten font, so it is much thicker than the rest of the letter sets and fonts that we sell at Michael's. So you always want to have a scrap piece on your block, okay, or even on the side of it. If you're having problems getting it deep throughout, what I want you to do is try to tilt and tap it. So I'm going to take just a scrap piece and I'm going to show you. So tilting and tapping, let me pull this back just a little bit more. Okay, when you tilt and you tap it, it's easier to get the entire impression of that letter. So I'm going to hit it once. I'm going to bring it back, forward, side, side. And I'm gonna have a really nice and even impression throughout. Okay, so if you're having an issue with just hitting it once and not getting the full impression in, definitely try the tilt and tap. So I am going to actually finish up this project doing the tilt and tap, just so we could all get used to it. So now I'm going to, again, I'm gonna make sure that my ImpressArt is facing me. That's how I know I'm stamping in the right direction. I'm gonna hit it once, lightly, tap forward, tap, side to side. And there is that right there. And I'm gonna come back in with my M. Remember, I'm utilizing the spaces between the orange and the black hash marks. Make sure that your stamp is right in the center. Bring that down, hit it once, bring it back, forward, side, side. Now guys, you don't have to be, like I said, it doesn't have to be too aggressive with it. All right. It is a soft metal. And then I'm going to come in with my eye, place it down flat, lightly drag it, feel that restriction. Give it a hit and a little tap. I'm not overly aggressively hitting it. And there we go. So there's my name there.
Oh, hi, Rita.
Hey, Jen.
Hi, we had a question from Delphine. She was asking, how far down do you place the sticker guide, or is it up to wherever you want to place it on the blank?
It's really personal preference. The good thing about these sticker guides is even if, and let me show you. Let's say you didn't want it smack in the center, okay? You could always, I'm gonna take my scrap out just to show you. Let's say you have a round disc and you even wanted to do it on an angle. You can move that sticker anywhere you want it. To get that lined up, like I did, so what you're gonna do is you're going to take it and just drag it down to where you feel you want it. If you want it smack in the center, what you would do is, what I suggest doing, is getting a ruler and just finding your center, okay? And once you find your center, you always want to make sure that you come down about 1 millimeter with your sticker guide. Okay, and that's how I find my center. So let's say, let me see if I could show you on this one. So let's say my center is here, okay? I'm gonna make sure that my sticker is right underneath it. Whoops. Nothing like live. Because you want to make sure your 3 millimeter font is going to hit right where your center mark is. So you want to put it a little bit underneath your center mark, if that helps. Any other questions, Jen, that they're asking?
Someone wants to know, what blank are we using?
So this is an Alchemy round and Alchemy blank.
Yes, it's 3/4 inch, and I'm going to link it in the chat room for anyone who wants to see.
Okay, good. I'm gonna actually, I dropped my blank over. I'm gonna go get down and get that blank. Perfect. So now we're gonna go to, let's see. Jen, I can't see like full questions. So
Yeah,
if you want to,
yeah, no problem.
If you want to read me some so I could answer or just troubleshoot. Is anyone having any issues?
Hillary asks, what should you do if someone has a long name like Alexander? Will it fit?
Alexander. Okay, so with Alexander, because this is a very wide font, let's see, how many letters is that, Alexander? Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 9.
It's 9?
Yes.
I would, let's see. So I'm gonna take a sticker and we'll walk through that. So we have Alexander, right? Alexander. So I am using both my line, my in-between, my line, my in-between. So I am going on my hash marks and in between. Okay? So that is a long name. I know I got Samantha on that disc. You might have to go with a 7/8 disc, Jen. Do we have a 7/8 disc?
We do have a 1 inch on Michael's.
Right. But I have a 1 inch right here. Instead of struggling on a smaller disc, let's do that on a larger disc. All right, so that's definitely going to give you enough room on your 1 inch disc. And you're just going to line it all up, like I said, right in between both the orange and the black hash marks. Bring it down, lightly drag it, tilt and tap it to make sure that whole letter, the impression is perfect. Is anyone having a better result with the tilt and tap with this font?
And then someone asks, what's the difference between our stamp guide than using a piece of tape?
Okay, so the stamp guides, guys, it's nice and thick, okay? And it has these hash marks. These lines, when you're stamping and you have your letters spaced out on these sticker guides, when you pull that sticker off, you're going to be completely straight across the disc and your spacing is going to be dead on, okay? Sometimes with the sticker, the tape isn't thick enough, so it doesn't act as a guide. What is the difference between using copper, 24 gauge? Okay, so there is, the only difference, Jen, I see the questions now before I didn't, sorry. The only difference between using copper than a soft metal, so aluminum and alchemy are both soft metals. Your copper is a harder metal, so you're gonna have to hit it how I'm just really not being aggressive with it. You're gonna have to hit that a little bit harder. I'm using, Nicole, I'm using a 3mm font. I was told if you tap more than once, you run into the risk of distortion. No. The reason why we're hitting these more than once and we're tilting and tapping is we want to make sure that we're getting that that letter, the impression, completely in there. And I'm going to use my R.
So Michelle asks, there are stamps other than the letters that we sell. So Michael sells a variety of stamps in their stores and on their websites, but we do have design stamps as well as packs that they sell. And our letter sets come with design stamps in them.
Okay, so there we go. We have Alexander. So when you have a bigger name, guys, because this 3mm font is it's a wide font, you definitely are going to have to use a larger disc. Jacqueline, will the sets work on wood? They will. I just wouldn't hit them so aggressively because you'll get the circumference of that stamp in your wood. So you want to wet your wood and do it very lightly. Yes, Sharpie, your name will definitely fit on a smaller disc. Okay, so now we're going to move to our third disc. So now your Descenders. I am terrible at pronouncing names, but I am definitely going to go over your Lowercase Descenders. Okay, so let's pick a name with Lowercase Descenders before we get to our established and our numbers. So Lowercase Descenders, which some people call basement letters. I call them Descenders. Some people call them low hanging. So let's go with Jack. Let's say we're doing a name all in lowercase. Okay. With that, we're still going to utilize spaces in between, but your J obviously is going to descend. Okay. So what we do with descending letters, guys, is we make sure. Jen, now that I have the questions up, just tell me if you can't see what I'm doing, because now I don't see the screen.
Oh, I can see you. You're good.
You can see it, it's good? Okay, so with the descending letters, guys, you want to make sure that the bottom circumference of your stamp is lined up to that blue line. Do we see that blue line that runs across our sticker? So instead of dragging it down and feeling that restriction, we're going to place our stamp, making sure that the bottom part of your stamp is lined up with that blue line, okay? And that's right in between the orange and black hash line, but you're gonna place it on the sticker. You can stamp over your stickers, guys, okay? So I'm gonna take it, give it a nice hit, back and forth, side to side, and you're gonna see that that is your descender. And I'm going to come back in, whoops, with my A, C, and my K. Okay, and when I pull that sticker away, there is your lowercase with your descending letter. Okay, so remember, you always want to make sure that you have your stamp lined up to the bottom of that blue line. So that is a smaller with Jack on it. Shardy, that's a smaller disc, not the larger disc. All right, so now we are going to do our established. I'm going to take out another sticker guide.
Carol asked if it's possible to stamp more than one row of letters.
Yes, that's what we're going to do right now.
Perfect.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you could always find your center, like I showed you guys before. I'm going to take my sticker guide and I'm going to follow it down. And I don't want to start my first line where my center is. Okay, I want to go right above it. Again, using my orange line and the hole in my metal blank to line up. You could definitely use these for other shapes. So hearts, flowers, definitely. This project's just with the rounds that we're using.
Yes, Sylvia. Michaels carries a variety of ImpressArt stamping blanks in different metals as well as shapes. Just make sure it has the ImpressArt logo at the top of it.
Marisol, you could use these stamps for leather. You have to make sure, because they have that circle on the outside, you want to make sure that your leather is a good quality leather, and you want to wet that leather first. And just be cautious with it, because remember, they're not as deep as a leather stamp would be. We do have cases, Clara, that you could put just like the 3mm Austin case. We have storage cases, so you could do that. You can stamp, Maureen, you can stamp on both sides of the disc. Mona, the difference between the aluminum and alchemy is that the alchemy is more of a pewter. It's softer than the aluminum is, but the both aluminum is food grade aluminum, so it's not going to tarnish, it's not going to corrode. The alchemy is a tin-based alloy. It's not going to tarnish or corrode either, but the alchemy is a little bit heavier, so it just wears nicely on the chain. Yes, our stamps will work with the vintage blacks. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to use my established. So I'm going to use my hash marks. I'm going to go right on them. So I'm going to do my E, my S in lowercase, and my T. So I'm going to use my uppercase first. I'm going to bring this down, lightly drag it, making sure that I see the ImpressArt on that shank. Back, forward, side, side. Come in with my lowercase s, line that up, find that center. I'm dragging that down. Once I feel that restriction in that tape on that sticker guide, I'm going to give it a hit, lightly tap it back, forward, side, side. I'm going to use the same with my T. I'm going to make sure that my stamp is always in my non-dominant hand and my hammer is in my dominant hand. Then I'm going to pull my sticker off. So I'm going to see that I'm right on top of my center mark. Yes, Laura, that's perfect. Let's see, Angie, I've had Austin upper and lower heart packs, and I love it. Well, I'm so glad that you love it. Angie, that's great. So yeah, I'm gonna go over and putting enamel in there once we've stamped all of our blanks. And yes, Stephanie, it's the same process for a vertical bar. So now I'm gonna come back in with my last sticker. And again, I have my dot where my middle is. So I'm gonna come down a little bit more. All right, and I'm going to use my Austin 3mm numbers. So with my numbers, guys, I want to space out my year. Okay, so how I'm going to do that, and this is just a design element that I like. I'm going to go, let's see, you know what, I'm not going to space them out. I'm going to put them right between again. All right, so I'm going to take my numbers. Now the numbers are the same thing. It's a 3mm number. You want to make sure, again, that your stamp is in your non-dominant hand and your hammer is in your dominant hand. You're going to place it flat. You're going to lightly drag that, okay? Making sure that you feel that sticker. You still feel that restriction, that ledge. Is anyone having an issue with not being able to feel that sticker? So if you are having a problem.
Mikey said yes.
Yes, okay, Mikey. So what you want to do then, I want you to just see how I'm tilting it a little bit towards me. I want you to place it flat down, tilt it a little towards you, and lightly drag that. And then you'll feel how it catches on that sticker. Mikey, let us know if that's working any better for you. So I'm going to tilt it towards me, place it flat, tilt it towards me, lightly drag that down. Yes, you can stamp on both sides. And I'm going to hit my 2. Then I'm going to come in with my 0. I know, Sylvia. See, now you're going to be the best gift giver. The best gift giver. Because what's better than giving someone a present that is handmade? And remember, guys, don't be so crazy with, it being perfect. Because if it was completely perfect, it would be engraving. It wouldn't be hand stamping. Remember that you're doing this by hand. You're hitting each number, each letter by hand. Okay, so flat, lightly drag that down, line that up. Again, flat. If you're having a problem with the sticker, I want you to tilt that stamp a little bit towards you, lightly drag that down, feel that restriction, and give it a nice tap. Of course, Alicia, and that, my sailor numbers are one of my favorite numbers. So definitely do that. Keisha, you can hit it too hard. What I suggest doing, guys, is getting scrap and really just learning your stamps. To be successful with metal stamping, it's all about learning your tools. Okay, just like if it was anything else that you were picking up, right? When we learned how to color in the lines, you learned how to use your crayons. Definitely learn how to use your tools. Learn how to use your fonts. Okay, so what you would do is take a blank, put your sticker guide on, and even if it's just a 4-letter word, if it's, let's say you're using love, you want to keep on using that word over and over and over and fill up your entire disc. Okay? Because if you fill up your entire disc, you'll know what strength you need to hit that letter. You'll know the feeling of how the stamp hits into the metal. Okay? Yes, you can use the jig, Elisa, with the stamp guide. So I'm just going to put this aside, and we're going to color them in, but I'm going to go over the jig really quick. Thanks for reminding me. So let me pull out a jig. Let's see. And of course, I dropped it. So let me bend down. Nothing like real time, right? If anybody watches our Facebook Lives, I know some of you do, I am notorious for dropping things. Okay, so this is the jig. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up a little bit. All right, and I'm literally gonna reuse one of my stickers that I had just so I could show you how to use the jig with your sticker guides. Okay, so again, your guide is always gonna go in your non-dominant hand. Okay, and I am going to, let's see, I'll take out an S. You're going to make sure that your stamp is facing you. Let me pull this up just a little bit more. Perfect. You want to make sure that the ImpressArt is facing you, even in that jig, okay? And you're going to take it. You're going to, again, you're going to squeeze, just so it doesn't go anywhere, okay? Place it down flat, lightly drag it, and you could feel that restriction in the sticker guide. Once you feel that ledge, you're just gonna hit it. And it's gonna sit right on top of your sticker. I'll just show you again. Bring that down, feel that ledge, all while squeezing. Give it a nice tap. All right. So that's how you use your jig. Remember, you always want to make sure to squeeze that center of that jig and then lightly drag it down. Thank you, Angie. Let's see. What is the name of this? So this is a jig. So the jig is for, the jig could be to line it up if you're a little shaky. If you're afraid of the hammer, it leaves a really nice and even impression. Okay, so if you're having a problem where you're really shaky with the holding of your stamp, the jig is great for that. All right, so I'm going to pull that away, place that aside. And now I'm just going to bring the disc that we stamped.
Rita, someone mentioned that you stamped a tiny heart in the sample.
Oh, I did.
Are you able to show them how to stamp that heart design stamp?
Yes. Let's see. I have a sea of stamps here. Give me a few minutes to pull that out. I know it's here. And if you guys hear my dog, I'm sorry. She's barking at everyone that walks past. Okay, so this is, Jen, this is in the pack of 3?
Yes, I will link that.
So this is great. This heart is always, always, always on my block. It's nice and tiny. All right, so I'm gonna come back in with my sticker. And guys, you could save your stickers, like put them on the side because you never know what you wanna, if you wanna come back in and add something to your design. So like I am lining that right back up. Does everybody see that? So my heart is nice and tiny. This is, I believe, it's a 3mm shank, but I believe it's a 2.5 heart. So it is very tiny. I love it. I add it to almost everything. And I can't even believe that I forgot not to add it.
Yeah, so put the link in. So inside this heart pack comes a 1.5mm, a 2mm, and a 3mm. So 3 little tiny hearts.
3 little tiny hearts. And if you're going to invest in anything, definitely invest in this heart pack. It's a great, great pack. It's the Whimsy Heart. And it's one of my favorites. So let me just bend this over a little bit. So you see that I just put a dot where I want my heart. Okay. So I'm going to bring it down, lightly drag it, line it up to where I have it right on the orange hash line. And I'm going to give it just, now this you don't have to tilt and tap, it's very tiny, okay? And the lines are very thin. So you're just going to pull this up a little bit so you could see. I'm just going to give it 1 tap. Oops. There we go, Jen, dropping blanks again. So I'll pull my sticker guide away, and I always put my sticker guides on the side of my block. Does everybody see that heart? So precious. One of my favorites. Let me go down and find my blank. I got it. Okay, so I am going to take some time with you lovely men and women, and I am going to go over blocks. Okay, so it's really personal preference. I personally always like to matte everything I'm working on. Maybe the piece that you're working on is not something that you want matted. So I'm gonna go over matte first, a matte finish first, and then I'm gonna go over a shiny finish. So when you're working with your buffing blocks, guys, you always, and you wanna matte your disc, so that means the front and the back, you always want to use the medium. Remember, medium is for matte. Matte is for medium. It's to matte your blocks, your blanks, okay? Your coarse side is to knock down your ends. So let's say you stamped very closely to the edge of your blank. And let me just pull out something and I will show you what I mean. Okay. So sometimes when we're stamping and we stamp on the outskirts, it leaves a little bubble. Does everybody see that little bubble right here? You're going to take your coarse side of your sanding block and you are going to just sand that in a circular, going around, starting from the top to the bottom, and you're just going to knock it down a few times. And your blank is going to be perfectly round again. Okay, so the coarse side is what you use to knock down ends. Okay, then you would come back in with your fine buffing block just to get that shine back. Okay, you could see that. So it's not. So now what I'm going to do with this, actually, I'm going to use this one. My R, my S, my initial discs, I am going to use my medium surface, and I'm going to matte my disc. And I will show you, I'll do it on one half. Okay, so Susan, I make it look easy because I've been doing it a long time, but I'm telling you, Susan, it is very easy. You started on sterling silver, flattened. So your ghost images, okay, I don't know if you were here in the beginning, was probably because one, it's a harder metal, and two, you weren't using a brass head hammer. When you are stamping on sterling or any kind of metal, it's super important that you use a brass head hammer because it absorbs that shock, so you're not going to get that ghost impression. Okay? So yes, Jacqueline, I'm going to show you how to enamel them. So this is the flat look, and this is, you know, the regular side of how they come out of your packaging. All right, so you could see how I only matted half the disc. So I personally like the matte look. I'm going to flip it around and do the other side, and I'm going to matte my entire blank. And then the next blank that I'm going to do, I'm going to buff it so you guys can see the difference. All right. So then I'm just going to take my paper towel and I'm just going to literally wipe off some of the metal dust from making it matte. So you can see it has really nice texture lines down the blank. I personally happen to like that. If you want more of a matte and then but you want it a little bit shinier and you don't want it so dull, what you are going to do is you're going to come in with your fine. Yes, these blanks can be tumbled. And then I'm going to finish it off with my super fine. and you're going to see it leaves that nice matte finish, but it gives it more of a polished matte. Okay, and you can't use these buffers for nails. So then I'm going to come in with my Sammy disc, and I'm gonna just polish this one. So I'm going to start with my fine. I'm going to run that over. And then I'm going to come in with my super fine. Yeah, Nikki, these are really nice, especially with the alchemy. These are really nice, shiny finish. Does everybody see that? So that's the difference between your matte and your shiny. Okay, so it gives it another, a different look. Now, if you have a blank that maybe you've put in your bead box and they're rubbing together and they have a little bit of surface scratches, you could definitely take that out using the medium side of your sanding block. I'm going to come back in and I am going to buff this one.
So Rita, we have a question from Alicia. She wants to know if you can use a font set to make a mandala, and if so, what letters would you use?
Yes, you can. So everybody knows I love my mandalas, right, Jen?
Yes, Mandala Mondays.
You can definitely use your U's. So I'm going to polish that one up. You could use your O's. So I'll do a really quick one because I know we have time.
Yes, and you'll be using the stamp guides, right?
Yes, we could use the stamp guides. Thanks, Jen. So in your book,
they come in a pack and they also have mandala grids on them as well.
Yeah, so the pack that we're using today, we're using the stamp guides book. Okay, in that stamp guides book is that mandala sticker. So I am going to pull one out. And I'm going to make sure that my orange line down my block, does everybody see that? Is in the center of where my hole is. And I'm following the circumference of my sticker block. Okay. And I'm going to place it on my block. So this is a great tool. It's a great guide to help you with your mandalas. I'm just going to move these off of my bench block. So after I show you how to do a mandala with the letters, we're going to enamel our impressions, and then we'll put them on jump rings, and I'll walk you guys through that. But I'm just going to show you really quick on how to use your letter sets for mandala. So I'm going to start with an O in the center, and I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to make sure that the ImpressArt, in this case, is facing me. And I'm going to put that right on my center orange dot. Give it a nice hit. Everybody see that? So you got your O right in the center. Okay. Then I'm going to come back in with my lowercase v, and I am going to follow. I'm going to make sure that my letters are right on those orange lines. So I'm going to come in with my lowercase v. And guys, don't be afraid. Don't turn your stamps. Turn your block. Okay, so I'm going to do every other orange line. And you just continue in a circular motion, and you build your design. You're just following those lines and you're building your pattern. So now that is my O, my lowercase b. I'm going to come in with, let's see. I'm going to come in with my U. And then I'm going to use some design stamps. So I'm going to come in with my U in between my B's and still on my orange lines. And I'm going to turn my block instead of turning my sleeve. So this is just making a mandala pattern using your letter set. And then after my U, I'm going to come in with my design stamp from my uppercase set. And I'm going to use that on the black round line, but on the orange line as well. So I'm going to come in between my black round circle and my orange line. And I'm going to do that right on that same line that I used my B. All right, and I'm going to pull back my sticker guide. There we go. And that is my pattern. So it really depends on the letter set that you guys are using, but I definitely, when I'm using my font sets to create a mandala, I'm using my O's, my B's, my U's, my W's, my S's. I'm turning my S's and, you know, using them in a different direction. I'm also using my M's and, you know, maybe upside down or sideways. So it really is really, you know, personal preference. All right. So that's really pretty. So I am, and if you have your sticker guide and it's caught in your impressions, you're just gonna take, you could take a head pin and just pull those right out. They come right out. You could even use an alcohol pad and it will come right out if you run an alcohol pad over it. So we are going to move on to
Enameling.
I'm gonna pull out my jump rings just so I have it there. Let's see. Okay. So your enamel marker. So this is your, it's a stamp enamel marker. It's a water-based enamel. I love, love, love this enamel marker. I sell a bunch of the jewelry that I make, and I really never had a problem with the black coming out of any piece that I've made. I actually could, because I noticed that we have a lot of tumbling questions. You could actually put your enamel in your impressions and then throw them in a tumbler if you are using a tumbler. So and it stays in the impression. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your enamel marker and you're going to fill in your impressions. Okay. So now if you're having an issue that your enamel's not staying in your impression, it's one of two things. One, you're wiping too quick, or your impressions aren't deep enough, okay? So you're gonna come back in and I want you to dab it. You're gonna make it, as I like to say, you're gonna make it ugly before you make it pretty. So you're going to come in and lightly wipe. Now this font is very wide, okay? So it could be sometimes you might have to hit it for another go around with that enamel marker. So you could see I rubbed out a little too much on my ampersand. I'm just gonna come right back in. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit. Let me flip this down a little bit so you guys can see. And I'm using a regular household paper towel. There's nothing on my paper towel. It's completely dry, okay? Lightly wipe.
So today Rita's using our black enamel, which is really great because it makes it pop. But Clara, I beat you to it. Michael's also carries our 4-pack enamel markers in the antique colors. So they come in gold, green, a chocolate brown, and a silver. So they'll give them. What?
I could fill one in with the different colors when we're done with it.
So they give the impressions like a subtle antique look, which is really, it complements the metal.
So I'm going to take it again. Color
so
in.
Michael has the 4-pack online for $24.99. And the black marker, which is a single, and for $7.99. And Sharvie is doing all our work for us.
Okay, so I'm going to come in, lightly dab it, lightly wipe. Guys, you don't have to be so aggressive with it. Lightly, lightly, lightly wipe. Lightly wipe and dab. And definitely fold your paper towel over. See how I'm using it as an eraser? You're just going to run it right over. Going to make you all enamel pros by the end of the night. And take your time with it. It's not a race.
Would a Q-tip be easy to get in between the impressions, or will a paper towel do just fine?
I'm sorry.
That's
Say that again? Jen?
What was the question?
What was the question?
Jacqueline asked if a Q-tip would be easier to clean in between the impressions.
You could definitely do a Q-tip as well. I get messy. So I wouldn't use water to remove the marker residue because you really want that you want it to dry in there. Putting any kind of water in there while it's still wet would just not be great.
There's a question for how long the enamel lasts.
I have to be honest, I've been wearing a bracelet for the last 6 months with the enamel in it, and I opened my pool with chlorine today and it's still in there. Like, I sometimes swim with my jewelry on and I haven't had an issue. But it really is, it's personal wear.
I would definitely say with my jewelry, especially my hand stamped jewelry, it's the last on and the first off. And I make sure, like, when I wash my hands, I don't put it under with the soap and everything. So I definitely take care of my jewelry that way for the enamel to last longer.
Jen, do you have allergies? I have allergies.
It was very nice in New York today for the first time.
Okay, so here are my beautiful blanks. Let's see. Well, I'm glad you like it, Sylvia. So I'm going to pull out my jump rings, guys. I'm going to pull out 3. Whoops. As I drop 6. Okay. When you're doing your jump rings, you always want to make sure that you're using 2 chain nose pliers, not 1 plier and your fingers, or a round nose plier and a regular plier. You always want the correct weight to put on jump rings is using 2 chain nose pliers. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to bring my chain, and I am going to open up my first jump ring. So I want to make sure that my needle nose pliers, my chain nose pliers, are really positioned right at the top. And I'm not going to pull apart. I'm going to laterally twist it. Because if you pull them apart, you compromise the metal in the center. And sometimes if you're using a jump ring that's plated, you're going to have a fracture in the plating at the bottom here, and it will crack. So you always want to twist your jump rings. So I'm going to put them right through. I'm going to close it.
So I'm just going to answer a quick question. We have 2 people asking about, can you put the enamel on twice after it dries the first time?
Yes, definitely. You can apply the enamel as many times as you like for a darker finish, definitely. You could always, and I could show you guys after I'm finished with my jump rings and I put them on my chain, I'm going to show you the other enamel markers that we have and how you can, if you don't like the black being so dark, how you can mix your black and your silver marker to get more of a gunmetal gray color. So I'm going to line up my blanks how I want them on my chain. And I'm going to take my chain and I'm just going to run it right through.
We have a question from Jacqueline asking how can you further personalize your necklace? Could you add a gem to it?
Yes, so you can add a gem to it. You can add a crystal to it. It's really endless. If you wanted to add a gem to it, let me just pull my gems out, whatever I have here. And why can't I open my containers tonight? Okay, there we go. So I'm going to use a, let's see, with this. I'm going to use lapis lazuli. Actually, labradorite, because I love labradorite. I love gray. So you're going to take another jump ring. And again, you're going to use your chain nose pliers. Open that up. Take your gem or your bead or your crystal, and you're going to add it right to your chain. And that just brings it to a whole nother level, guys. I mean, I'm a big fan of black and grays, so, but a nice pink, purple, blue, a lapis color, a amethyst will look really nice with this design. So let me see if I could get, here we go. So I could just show you guys how that came out. And your gem, even if you want to add a gem, it just adds a little something to it. It's a really fun project. All right, I know we have a glare from all my lights in here. There we go. Look how pretty that is. You know? Well, thank you, Mallory. And you know what? I am going to go over some enamel markers with my mandala just so I could show you guys let's pull out, what do we have, Jen? We have the green, the gray, the brown.
Yep, the green, gold, chocolate brown, and silver.
Okay. I know the silver's here somewhere. I think I just dropped it. Yep, I just dropped it. I'm forever dropping everything, guys. I apologize. All right. So I'm going to kind of just doodle all over to show you the different colors. So the first thing I'm going to do is I think I'm going to use my blue. Actually, it's my green. Sorry, Jen, I do that all the time. I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to take a head pin and I'm just going to pull out some of the remnants of the sticker. See how easy that was? You could even use toothpick. Comes right out.
I just want to answer Paul's question. Yes, save all your blanks that you do mess up on, because they are great practice blanks to stamp on and test out patterns before you actually stamp your final piece.
Yes, guys, and you could always, it's great to have scrap around. It really is. You see, like I always keep a scrap disc around. You know, because sometimes we're unsure. Listen, I've been doing this for years and I'm still unsure. Pull that out. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to come in with my green. I did stamp over the hole. Let's see. I did stamp over the hole, see? And look how pretty that is. That's part of something that I like. I always like to use, if anyone watches our lives here, I like to use dots a lot, and I like to go over the hole because it's always that like weird space. But if you could see, I'm putting my finger behind it so you could see that hole, okay? So I'm gonna come in with and color in my V's with my green.
And Rita, people are asking, what's the difference between our enamel marker versus maybe say acrylic paint and or Sharpie?
Our enamel marker is formulated. It's a special formula for metal. Sharpie is good to mark your center if you want to mark your center. But remember, guys, Sharpie is not going to come out of your hands. And as soon as you hit it with any kind of antibacterial or perfume or essential oil, it's going to pull that Sharpie right out of the impression. You were wondering when you were going to get to, when I was going to get to my dots. Not today. No dots today. I'm going to take it and I'm going to make like a little, little point with it. And I'm just going to come in and lightly dab it, lightly white. Now guys, with this green marker, you could definitely let it dry a little bit more because it is light, but you could always come in and give it a second coat. Do we see that? I know it's a little glary here, but I'm going to just come back in a little bit with my green. I'll let it dry a little bit more. Remember I said either I did it, you don't let it dry, your impressions aren't deep enough. And then I'm gonna come in with my gold. The gold is one of my favorites. And I'm gonna utilize that on my U's. I'm really gonna let this dry. Then I'm gonna come in with a chocolate brown. So you guys could see what all the colors look like. I'm just gonna fan it a little bit.
So Danielle asked a good question. She's fascinated by handmade jewelry and personalized jewelry, and she wants to know the average start to start stamping. So Michaels does have on their website and in the stores our basic font stamping kit. So it has the hammer, the small block, a basic font set, and a couple of practice blanks, and that's for $50. So once you have those, you can practice stamping on the practice blanks that come with that kit. But then you can also buy more blanks for $5 a pack on their website or inside the store and branch out from there. And I will link that starter kit in the comment section as well. And then the font set that Rita's using is Austin, and the uppercase, lowercase, and numbers would be a little bit more of an investment. But the stamping kit is a great, like, try me.
All right, guys, I think we've got a finished product here. So you could see that, you know, it could dry a little bit more and I could wipe some more off, but you could see that chocolate brown and that green. I know, Sherry, isn't the gold nice? The gold gives it like a really, like a gold flake. It gives it like a two-toned hue to it, which I love. And the more it dries, the more you could wipe off and bring that shine right back up of that alchemy. You
know what that would be great, Rita, is if you put it on an ear wire from the jewelry department and made a matching one and have earrings.
Earrings, yes. So I know I mentioned before that if you wanted to mix, because the silver I didn't use on this. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I make a gray. Yes, it does look like an old-fashioned snowflake. It does. It does. Remember, guys, Christmas gifts. Be the best gift giver. So I'm going to color.
Your friends will be asking for you to make gifts for them to give, and that's some income you can make.
That's how you start your side hustle. So you're going to take your paper towel, lightly dab it, wipe that. So, you know, some of us want more of like an antique-y look, not so stark black. I like to mix my markers. So here's my Alexander. So I'm going to take my silver. You are going to, Sylvie, you're going to be the Beyonce of gift giving this Christmas. You are. You're going to take your silver enamel marker. And you see that, guys? Do you see how it's turning more of like a gunmetal color? How nice is that? And then you're going to lightly wipe. So this gives it a look of, you know, not so stark, but more of like a liver of sulfur, patina look. I happen to like that. This actually looks really good if you're using brass and copper, guys. If you are doing your black and you feel your black is a little bit too stark, definitely utilize your silver enamel marker. It looks gorgeous. Gorgeous. Well, Noelle, I know. Silver over black is, you know, my favorite. It's right, Maureen? It does look like liver sulfur. It's a little bit of tip.
If liberal sulfur would work, or someone was talking about patina as well.
Patina paints will work. You're just gonna have to have them dry a little bit more than our enamel markers are. I can't be too sure because, like I said, I really use our products, but you could definitely use any kind of patina paints. So, yes, I do sell the jewelry that I make, but lately I've been so busy. You guys keep me so busy that I haven't really been able to do any of that. But I'm happy teaching. Love teaching. Oh, Myra, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Yes, Nikki, we are on Instagram. It does. It just looks so nice, doesn't it? I love it. So I am going to go to my other camera. So let's see if we could switch that. All right, guys. So if you have your cameras up, let's see if I could see. Did anybody stamp along with us today?
I saw a couple of people.
I want to see finished. I want to see pieces of finished work. Nikki, you have one? Let me see. I love it.
Oh, Julia's awesome. I see Julia's one. That's awesome.
Caleb and Courtney, very nice. I wonder if I could see more. Can I can't scroll. Can you scroll, Jen?
Yes, if you scroll left and right, you will be able to see
Jen. Jen's up. Look at that.
Oh, Floor, I love Floor. FNJ, it's very pretty.
Perfect, guys. Good work. Thank you so much for joining us today. So remember, we went over how to line up everything, okay? So you definitely want to make sure that you're taking your time. You're making sure that your stamp is in your non-dominant hands, your hammer's in your dominant hands. You're taking your time, you're lining that up, and you're hitting it. Learn your tools. That is the best advice Jen and I could both give you. Once you learn your tools and you learn your font sets, you're on your way. You guys would be creative entrepreneurs, all of you, or really, really good metal stampers making gifts for friends. So thank you very much. I know this is the last class. Thank you so much for tuning in with, to me and Jen. We appreciate you guys so much. And we hope that you learned a little something today. And I think we'll be back, Jen, right? We'll be doing...
Yes, we're signed up for a Father's Day class on June 11th at 3 p.m. Central Time.
And we're going to do a project on washers. So that's really good. And I could walk you guys through that. So that's always fun. And like I said before, if you want to join us, Jen and I are on Facebook on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 1 o'clock. And we talk tools, we talk product, and we walk you through finished pieces. So.
And we're always on our social media, so you can follow us at ImpressArt on Facebook and Instagram. And if you tag any of your stamp projects with Make It With Michaels or Impress Us or ImpressArt, which is our hashtags, we would love to see them, and we'll also comment on them. So
definitely, Jen and I love, that's what me and Jen do in our spare time. We'd love to see what you guys are making. So definitely hashtag and everything that you guys have been making pertaining to metal stamping. We would love to see it. Anything else, Jen?
No, I'm super excited. If anyone has any questions, you can reach out to us on social media and we'll be happy to answer them.
Definitely. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.